trouble getting listings in this market, or are you trying to get listings in this market? Because seems like we've all got plenty of buyers, but there's no houses for them to buy, right? Well, I'm Nancy Deichman from RE/MAX Premier Realty in the Villages, Ocala, and Mount Dora, and I'm going to share with you a listing hack that I think will work fantastic today. As a matter of fact, I think we've got a couple of agents doing it now. So I'm going to let the cat out of the bag and show you a very, very easy way to get people to call you who may want to sell their home. So we all do mailings, or at least most of our agents are doing mailings now, and we mail to a lot of absentee owners because a lot of our agents don't like to make phone calls. They don't even want to do the phone call where you just leave it on the voicemail. So what can you mail to an owner that's actually going to get their attention? If they see they've got so many letters coming in from real estate companies probably that they just toss them. So why don't we do this? Let's try using a plain envelope that looks like an invitation. It's a 5x7. You can buy these on Amazon in batches of 50 for about $10.99, and put your letter in here. And it's a different type of letter. So we know that there's too many buyers to go around and not enough sellers. So what you want to let this seller know, and it's got to be the truth. It's got to be a seller that you know of, a buyer who wants to be in that neighborhood. So you put your letter in an envelope like this. You put a hand stamp on it, a pretty stamp. You handwrite the address out. It looks like an invitation. Now, I got one of these in the mail yesterday. And did I open it above the other mail? Absolutely. I thought it was either a greeting card or an invitation to something. So I opened it right away. And that's the reason you would want to use this. Pretty colors also make a big difference. So use the colored envelope. Put your message in there. But what's your message? What message do I put in there that's going to get a seller to call me is the question, right? Put a letter in there, a sincere letter about you have a buyer who might have tried to buy in that neighborhood. List the neighborhood in the letter, whatever that neighborhood is. If it's Huntington Estates, whatever that neighborhood is. I have had a buyer who missed out on 2 homes in your neighborhood, Huntington Estates. They still want to buy in the neighborhood, and there's no other homes on the market that fit their needs. Would you consider doing just a 1-day listing with me to show my buyers your home in the neighborhood? This should bring you phone calls if you hit every house in the neighborhood. Somebody is going to want, they're thinking of selling, but they're not quite ready, but they don't want to go through the drudgery of putting their home on the market. They're not ready to have a sign in the yard, but maybe they want to know what their home is worth. Maybe it's just that so far, but it's going to bring you leads, and it's probably going to bring you listings if you do enough of it. Yes, it's time consuming. It's not pushing a button on a computer. We know that. But right now, we need to be guerrilla marketing to find those listings. We have more competition than we've ever had. There are more realtors coming into the market than there are homes coming in on the market practically. So we want to do something that's different, and this is different. They'll open it because they think it's an invitation, right? Or a birthday card or something. It'll have a nice stamp. It'll have your handwriting, the best you know how to handwrite. And maybe you get somebody to do this for you if you don't have good handwriting. And then put a very sincere letter about, you can mention the first names of the buyers. You don't want to disclose their total information. You might, mention their first names. They really want to be in this neighborhood. They've missed a house or 2 in the neighborhood. Would you consider doing a 1-day listing with me? And see what response you get to that. You should get some callbacks if you do enough of them. You also will get people who are ready to sell if you get enough of them. You might sell the house yourself because you really do have a buyer. So talk to your buyer leads more. Find out what their ideal neighborhood would be. And then do your letter based on that information. I think you can type the letter. Don't try to handwrite the whole letter. But I'll put their name at the top. Don't make it to neighborhood owner. Don't do dear homeowner because that's very not sincere. So put their, have their name at the top. You can type the letter or have it done on the computer, and your signature at the bottom, and maybe a PS at the bottom that states, if you're not quite ready yet but would like to know what your home is worth, give me a call. And handwrite the PS because that's also very powerful. Try this. I think it'll work for you. I've done things like this in the past that have worked for me beautifully. We were in a market one time that needed to get attention, and I used, actually it was this exact same shade of blue, and I did 8.5 by 11 envelopes, and I put listing agreements in them and sent them out. It worked very, very well for us during that market time. So you might want to try this. I think it'll work. Let me know. I'd like to know in the comments below if you try it and it works or it doesn't work. Let me know. Because sometimes when people tell me something didn't work, they really didn't try very hard. They might have sent out 10 letters. This isn't going to work if you send out 10. If you're not willing to do the work or to commit to at least 50 envelopes in the pack, or maybe 2 packs at 100, then it's going to work. That's for sure. All right? Take care. I hope this tip helped you. I'm just trying to help people find more listings to put on the market, and I hope it helps you. Take care.